Okay, good morning everybody. We're looking again at advanced idioms and phrasal verbs. I've taken this from the book Advanced Idioms and Phrasal Verbs, which you can find if you look on Amazon or Google or any search engine. Now I'm going to quickly turn that light round because it's reflecting on the board. Is that better? Looks a bit better. Yeah, we'll go through idioms, phrasal verbs. I've got a lesson very soon, so I'm going to have to be quite quick, and my phone is running out of power, so I'm going to have to be double quick. So these are all noun phrases here. They're all noun phrases that describe people's character in one way or other. So if you call somebody a creature of habit, that means that they always have the same habits, they always have the same routine. I think older people are usually creatures of habit. Another idiom here you can remember is you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And that means that older people find it very difficult to pick up new skills or any new habits really, but skills especially. We say this to mean that old people find it difficult to learn new skills, perhaps a new language, for example. And I actually don't agree with that. I think that older people can pick up a new language. It all depends on how much free time they have and how much motivation they have. So a creature of habit is somebody who always has the same routine, the same habits. A live wire is a very energetic and lively person. This is quite a positive expression to describe somebody who's very energetic, very lively, that kind of thing. So, a live wire. A bright spark is somebody who's very clever. We often use the adjective bright to describe somebody who's clever. And when I was a kid, we often used the adjective dim to describe somebody who wasn't very clever, because dim is the opposite of bright. I even remember we had a boy in our class whose surname was Bright, and we all called him Dim, because that was our little joke that, that he was not very bright. But it was perhaps not a very nice thing to say, but it was only a joke. So dim would mean a little bit unintelligent, but bright is always intelligent. A bright spark is somebody who's intelligent. Now, a soft touch is how you describe somebody who is very easy to wrap around your little finger, very easy to get round. And what I mean is, if you're, for example, a father and you're a soft touch, that means that your children find it very easy to manipulate you. It's very easy for them to get what they want, and maybe they want, I don't know, maybe they want to stay out until 11:30 and they're only little, but they find it easy to manipulate you, and because you are a soft touch, you're not strict, you're very easily manipulated. So a soft touch is very often used for parents or adults who are easy to get round, easy to manipulate, especially by the young. Okay, an unknown quantity is anybody who is an unknown, who you don't know much about. So they are a dark horse. Another good expression I think is in a lot of different languages is a dark horse, meaning a mysterious person, somebody you don't know much about. Well, an unknown quantity would be a person who you don't know much about. You're not sure how they will act or behave because they are an unknown quantity. Yeah, it makes sense. The salt of the earth, again, I think this is an idiom in a lot of different languages, but the salt of the earth is an excellent guy, or girl, a nice person, a great person. They are the salt of the earth, a really, perhaps really reliable, really really kind, friendly, you can trust this person. They are the salt of the earth. Now, the opposite of the salt of the earth would be the scum of the earth. And scum is a really strong word. So it means a bad person. If you call somebody scum, you mean that they are lower than low. The lowest that low can possibly go is the scum of the earth. So you can just call someone scum. I mean, and it's a collective noun, so it can refer to a lot of people. You can say they are scum or he is scum. But it makes me think of the stuff at the bottom of a liquid, which is all the dirt and the scum. And so the lowest of the low in society would be the scum of the earth. Another way to refer to somebody who's not nice is a nasty piece of work. But remember that this word nasty is used to refer to people who are spiteful and malicious. They enjoy making people angry. They enjoy hurting people. They're a little bit sadistic. And so a nasty piece of work would be for somebody who's a little bit sadistic and likes hurting people, likes being unkind to people. If somebody is nobody's fool, they are a bright spark. They are clever. Yeah, nobody's fool. He's nobody's fool. It means that he's a clever guy. Or she's nobody's fool. She's a clever person. Okay, a cold fish is somebody who doesn't have any emotions. Okay, or is very unemotional. So like a rock, like a stone. Of course, everybody has some emotions, but some people seem to really hide them away, and you don't really feel like they're a very emotional person. That person is a cold fish. Okay, and lastly, a man of his word is somebody you can trust, because when they make a promise, they don't break their promises. They keep their promises. So that person is a man of his word. Okay, so that's all of our noun phrases done. Let's come on to some idioms, and we'll do phrasal verbs at the same time. So have somebody's best interests at heart. We very often use this for somebody who, well, for example, a mother will usually have her child's best interests at heart, but we'll quite often use this to show that this person has their best interests at heart, but maybe they're acting in a way which is damaging that person. And so mothers will always have their children's best interests at heart, or more or less always, but sometimes they'll do things which, even though in their heart of hearts they want to help the child, perhaps they're holding them back from progressing or from growing up. And so you might use this expression. I think quite often we use this expression to say she has her child's best interest at heart, but she's doing something which is perhaps damaging the child's progress. But it's not just about mothers and children, it could be about anybody else as well. You might say the teacher has his students' best interests at heart, and so he's kind, he wants to help them, but maybe he's doing the opposite. So quite often we say this when we're contrasting and saying, but their behaviour actually leads to the opposite effect and it doesn't help that person. Now, if you go out of your way to do something, that means you really make an effort to do something. A good teacher will go out of their way to help their students. A good teacher will go out of their way to make sure all of their work is marked, and they'll go out of their way to make sure every lesson is planned in detail. Okay, and so this one is exactly the same as the next one, which also means make an immense amount of effort to do something, to go to great lengths to do something, to go out of your way to do something. So again, a good teacher will go to great lengths to make sure that he's preparing for every class, to make sure that his students have a lot of homework, and to make sure that they're progressing in their subject as quickly as possible. Now, if you hold something together, and we very often say hold it together or keep it together, and this would mean, this is a phrasal verb, and it means maintain emotional composure. If you keep it together, you maintain control over your emotions. You don't get carried away. You maintain control. And of course, as adults, it's necessary that we keep it together, that we hold it together. Otherwise, we'll act quite childishly and we'll start bawling our eyes out. And there's a good phrasal verb, bawl out, bawl your eyes out. We'll start bawling our eyes out every time something upsets us. And of course, we're not little children, so we have to keep it together. We have to maintain emotional composure. Okay, to be there for somebody means to be ready to help somebody, and especially emotionally support somebody. And so if you're in love, hopefully that person will be there for you. They will be ready to lend you a shoulder to cry on if you're upset, or they'll be ready to give you advice. They'll be ready to help you in any way that they can. So to be there for somebody is to be ready to give that person, especially emotional support. And to be able to give someone a shoulder to cry on, or to be prepared or ready to give someone a shoulder to cry on, simply means to be there ready to listen to that person's sad story, or to listen to why that person is upset, and you offer them emotional support again. You give them a shoulder to cry on because you are ready to be there for them. Okay? If you give somebody a helping hand, we often say, give me a hand. Yeah, and we don't mean give me a hand. We mean help me. Help me to finish this task. And you can also say lend me a hand, give me a hand, or lend me a hand. Yeah, but you could say a helping hand as well. And that's really common. We also say a handy man for a man who's very good at fixing the lights, fixing the plumbing, fixing different things that go wrong in the house. Yeah, somebody's just asked about my book, which is somewhere around here. But yeah, you can buy my book on Amazon and on my website. So please do. That deals with phrasal verbs. It's right over here. It's this one. It's got plenty of pictures in it if you like pictures. So yeah, if you want to learn more about phrasal verbs, please buy my book. Now, if you thank your lucky stars, that means that you're really happy with your luck. Yeah, basically it's what it is. It sounds like what it means. You are really happy with your luck and you thank your lucky stars about something. So maybe you've met someone that you've fallen in love with and you thank your lucky stars that you've met this person. Okay, if you twist or wrap somebody round your little finger, it means you have completely manipulated that person. They will do anything for you because you have charmed them. Usually it's usually some kind of charm that you've used to twist or wrap somebody round your little finger. And so I mentioned this earlier for a soft touch. If you've twisted your dad round your little finger, that means he is a soft touch. He's easily manipulated. But the phrasal verbs here are great. You can say you got round your boss and managed to take the next day off. Yeah, maybe you really wanted to take the next day off, and so you had to talk your boss into letting you have the day off, and you managed to get round him. You managed to talk him round. You managed to bring him round, and in the end he came round. You won him over. So many expressions for manipulate in English, but they're all phrasal verbs and they all mean manage to persuade or convince or manipulate. Okay, if you say that person likes to have things his own way, this is very negative because it means that they're spoilt. It means that they will not compromise. They only want things their own way. In other words, they're very selfish. They want what they want, but they don't care what anybody else wants. They don't care about other people's desires or wishes. They want things done how they want them done, and they are not prepared to compromise at all. It's very negative, and it sounds like a spoilt child, really, when you want to have things your own way. Okay, put your foot down. I don't know if you can see this. I think you can. Put your foot down. It's an idiom meaning become strict about something specific as well. And so perhaps you try to twist your dad round your little finger. You want to go out tomorrow night to the party and you want to stay out till 2 a.m. and you try to twist him round your little finger, but you don't get round him. You don't win him over. He's not a soft touch. And he puts his foot down and says, no, I'm going to put my foot down and say, you can only go to the party if you come back at 12:30. Yeah, and he's putting his foot down. He's being strict. He's enforcing rules and regulations. And when you do that, you put your foot down. You lay down the law. There's another good expression, in fact, lay down the law. It means to enforce some kind of rule or regulation, to lay down the law, to put your foot down. And last one here, which was what somebody asked me about recently. One of my students asked me about this one, and she found it in Harry Potter. She found the following sentence: I wouldn't put it past Mad-Eye Moody to have searched every teacher's office in Hogwarts. And she wanted to know what that meant. And this is actually a really common expression. I wouldn't put it past someone to do something or to have done something if you want to talk about the past. And so it means I didn't think that or I think he would be so naughty that he would even do this. When you say, I wouldn't put it past him to have searched every teacher's office, it means Mad Eye Moody is such a bad guy that he's probably the kind of guy that would search through people's offices when they're not there. Oh, sorry, low battery. As I said, I've got a very low battery today, so I'm going to have to run off. But if you say, I wouldn't put it past my brother to have stolen the money, and I'm sure my brother would never do that, but if I say that, that means I think my brother is so naughty, such a bad guy, that he would even steal the money. So I wouldn't put it past him to have stolen the money. And when we say to have stolen, that means it happened in the past. And you're saying that I wouldn't put it, I think he's so bad that he probably stole that money. That's basically what it means. I think he's so bad that he probably stole that money. I wouldn't put it past him to have stolen the money. Okay, thank you everybody for your attention. Please remember to buy my book. It's on my website right now, skypelessons.com. That's the PDF version, the electronic version. It's got hyperlinks, it's got colour pictures, and it's got all of these phrasal verbs for sure. They're all in there several times with lots of different examples and lots of exercises. So you can buy that from my website, skype-lessons.com, which I'll quickly put up here. And you can also get it on Amazon if you're an old-fashioned kind of person. If you like paper and not electronic versions, then I'm certainly like that as well. Please buy the paper version, which you can find on Amazon. Just type in Visual Phrasal Verbs, because that's the name of the book, Visual Phrasal Verbs, and you will find it. It's £20 for black and white and £35 for colour. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, blah, 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 and I hope to see you all soon.